Hey, how's everybody doing? This is Ken H364, and today we're going to review the Kraken. I have two Krakens. I have a Kraken by Tobeco, which I will talk about. I love my Krakens, I'll tell you that right now. I also have just got in the mail this Kraken by Hcigar. It's kind of got a nice gold finish to it, and they give you some wire and some wick, and they give you this little bitty screwdriver. What they fail to give you is a 1.5 millimeter Allen wrench, and you need that if you want to do a dual coil setup on this. So what I found, and some people complain about it, they say that the tank is very loose on the O-rings. I don't find it to be that way, but then again, I haven't used this one yet, so we're going to fill this one up a little bit later on and see if we get any leakage. A lot of people have been complaining about it. Another thing that I don't like about this, as long as we can get it in there and focused, it has only one washer on here. What I did was I went out and bought extra washers. I'll put one of those on there, and so far, I kind of like the build. Like I said, you can do a single coil. If you look at it, you can do a single coil. You can do a double coil. The double coil, however, will require you to remove this screw, which is a 1.5 millimeter Allen head screw, so you're going to need an Allen wrench for that. I happen to have them because I do work with some metrics. Well, once you take that out, you can do a dual coil build, or you can do a single coil build, which makes it kind of nice. Like I said, I haven't built it yet, and we're going to do that in a little bit. I'll build the coils and everything. I'll put it together on the side. But anyhow, it looks like it's a pretty good setup. They've got the vicious. I don't know how they get away with putting the vicious ant thing on the bottom, and then on the center post, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, they put a little serial number on there, or model number, or whatever the heck it is, lot number. They put that on there. Why they do that, I have absolutely no idea. It is a clone. I kind of look at it like this. I can buy this clone for $30, or I could buy an original Vicious Ant for $150. I don't see $150 worth of stuff in here. As I said, I've been in manufacturing. I've been a manufacturing engineer. I've been in the tool room doing the actual machining, and I don't see $150 worth of materials or quality or anything else. And as far as the quality goes, I would rate this fair to good. I wouldn't call it a great machining, but I would call it fair to good. And the reason being is there are burrs on the edges here. You can feel them with your hands. You can feel them here. They're not excessive, but they are there, which shows me that they did not properly finish this. The O-rings, I'm seeing them as being a little bit small, but then again, my other Kraken that I've had for quite some time now, well, I've had since April, they're a little bit tighter. So I don't know if when you pull this cap off, if you're going to pull the glass tank with it. I don't know if it's going to leak, because, like I said, I haven't tried it yet. So I'm gonna rebuild this, and then I'm gonna come back, and we're gonna take a look at it. The other thing that happened, and this happened on my one from the Tobeco, this center post here started rotting, not rotting out, but it split. And you can see the threads on it. It's kind of hard to show you on camera. It works now since I added 2 washers, because that one came with no washers. It still works, so I'm still using it. But that split is telling me that center post is eventually going to fail. So on the Tobeco one, that is a problem. This one here seems to be a little bit thicker. I haven't really measured it, but we'll see. We'll see how long it lasts. Like I say, the only reason I bought a second Kraken is I love my Kraken builds. Most of them come out to be about 0.8 ohms to 1 ohm, and they vape real well. I use cotton. I don't use any silicon or stainless or anything else, although I could. I've got a big sheet of stainless steel here. But I prefer the cotton. Cotton wicks very well if you get it all the way down. If you get your cotton through the hole all the way down to this base right here, you get it down to this base and bend it over a little bit so it's kind of like dragging on here on both sides. You don't have to do that upside down tilt when you want to wick it, for it to wick it. It wicks quite well. Also, because of the length of the wick, I don't know if you can see them in here. When they go all the way to the bottom, it wicks all the way to the bottom. I never have a dry hit or a burnt hit. Also, when it comes time, if your coils are still good, you can pull the wick through the top, snip them, and still have enough wick in the bottom. So you might have to do a little bit of a tilt here and there to get the wicks saturated. But you're not constantly re-wicking. You're just pulling up some of the wick and snipping the top off. So it saves you some time there. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and do the build, and then I'm going to get back to you, and we'll take a little bit more of an in-depth look at this thing. So be right back. Okay, we've returned. Completed the build. It's an 8-wrap dual coil build, and we have 0.78 ohms, so it'll read out on the mod as a 0.8. You can see what I was saying earlier, how the cotton comes all the way down and it sits on this deck. Get it over here in front of the camera so it can focus a little better. Both sides are like that. Just push it up in there. Make sure you clear the O-rings. Take your tank, slide it over the top. Now maybe you can see it a little bit better, a little clearer. So I got plenty of cotton in there. And like I said, a 0.78 ohm build. So let's see how this cotton picker works. Okay, we've got it on top of our Hcigar, and we are going to prime the wicks. Got some homemade juice here that I make. See how everything works out. Seems pretty good. Let's fill her up so we can really saturate the wicks. This is amaretto, apricot amaretto. It's one of my own mixes. Now you can see how the cotton has just swollen up in there. It's giving a nice, good saturation to the wicks that are in the coil. And it gives us a pretty good feed on that. We got this all set, so we'll put that on there. You don't get a drip tip with the Hcigar, but I got drip tips all over the place. It's got good flavor out of it, just like my other Kraken. If it doesn't leak, like a lot of people complain about, I think we've got a good build. So don't be scared to try the Kraken. And the tank, depending on how heavy you vape, some days I'll go through a tank and a half, some days I won't even go through a tank full. So you might find that a benefit to you. But let's take another hit. Like I say, I don't chase clouds. I chase flavor. And I'm getting good flavor off of this. So, hey, this is Ken H364. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you would. Also, go to my website, theinformationnation.com, because I also do a radio show. You can listen to that. It's not only there, it's also on TuneIn. So we're all over the place like manure, spread out all over. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time, and keep on vaping.